If Xbox Game Pass comes to PlayStation in any form, would it be a testimony to Phil Spencer's genius or Sony seeing the importance of having the Bethesda games on its platform? So what do you guys say?
I mean, you got to give respect for somebody who puts their first-party game streaming service on the competitor system. I don't care how you did it. Respect.
Well, okay, I would say, I'll give credit because for Phil Spencer, it's a tremendous strategic advantage, right? There's no disadvantage for him doing that. None. Zero.
Yeah.
If Sony takes the offer and says, okay, we're going to have Xbox games available on PlayStation, that's a win for both, right? Because either console is viable for playing the games, and then if you happen to just be on PS5, then you can experience Xbox games, and Xbox gets the software sales, right? If Sony refuses, they're the ones who look bad.
Mm-hmm.
If they go, yeah, we don't want this shit, So. It would be a brilliant strategic maneuver because there's no downside to it for Microsoft.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, it goes to show you if that does happen, which by the way, the guys in the chat are saying never again. No, don't say that. Don't say that, guys. I think this is exactly what Microsoft wants. Remember, they're a software company first and foremost. They want their software on as many platforms as possible. So if you ever do see Game Pass on PlayStation, I'm not saying it's going to happen in PlayStation 5, but like PlayStation 6 or whatever, I could see that happening for sure. It'll have to be modified, obviously, no third-party games or whatever. But it's not. My point is, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It could definitely happen.
I could see a Trojan horse way of doing it. If we see like EA Access and the Ubi service and all of those just deciding to tie into Game Pass, and that's the only way you can get those services, then I could see that piggybacking and then jumping in on a PlayStation that way, because then it's like, well, yeah, it's this whole Sony Microsoft thing, but I want EA Access, I want the Ubisoft stuff, I want those services because of the back catalog and the vault and all that stuff, and that's only integrated in there. I can't get those as a standalone for $4.99 or whatever. That's the only other way I could see it happening.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it would just prove that Game Pass is viable if that does that, But it would be interesting if Sony accepts, because the Sony we know would not accept it, but Sony's changing now. They're different, They're effectively an American company now, so who the fuck knows?
Yo, fuck Jim Ryan.
I agree with that too.
I think it's a combination of both things. I mean, the greater vision of Game Pass and what it's evolving into, having it in your competitor's console is a home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also vice versa. Like Sony implementing this type of service means that in a way they're kind of desperate for those titles or whatever that service is, because they have to swallow this huge ego hit to get your competitors going to make bank off of your system essentially. So it goes both ways. It's a tactical genius move, and Sony had to swallow some crow, where I don't even know it's crow, but they had to take hits.
Well, not even just to get your product on the other person's platform, your service.
Yeah,
because that's the difference. They can get the product on the platform by just making it multi-plat, but I still think they're going to chain it to Game Pass. So they're going to get a lot of people getting Game Pass on PlayStation. And
yeah,
that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're talking about. And remember,
I'm kind of looping back into why it's different than just getting a product on a platform. I guess I could have just left it. I'm over explaining it.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you really think about it, getting Game Pass on PlayStation is effectively getting Xbox on PlayStation, because that's what Xbox is now. It's all about Game Pass now. Like the box is almost secondary if you really think about it. It's really about Game Pass subscriptions. That's what they care about. Why do you think they bought Bethesda? So it could really amp up what Game Pass is to make it more lucrative.
Dude, I swear to God, this is the plot of an anime.
It could
or like a bad dragon. Dude, there's one thing that wants to get into the body of another thing so it can ascend into a non-being.
Well, also remember, this wasn't so much about Sony. Remember, this is not like being competitive with Sony, the main reason they bought ZeniMax too was to fuck over Google, was to screw over Stadia.
That's right. And hey, that worked, didn't it? You know,
Yeah,
Stadia said they bowed out because of that. You know, so yeah, so that strategy definitely worked. You know, killing them.
So so I agree with Damien in that sense, and also like imagine Sony people having access not just to Bethesda's library, they have access to Microsoft's library. So imagine you're on your PlayStation. Let's say this happened this year, right? Like
Hypothetically, yeah.
And so Halo Infinite comes out, and I could play with my buddies who have Xbox. I could play Halo Infinite on my PS5.
Yeah, that'd be
How
crazy.
is that? Who loses in that case? No one loses.
Yeah, that's right. No one does.